We're Okaukuejo Resort inside Etosha National Park, and we're looking around the accommodation. Now this is a bush chalet. Now all of the bush chalets come with a braai pit or a barbecue area. They're the only accommodation inside Okaukuejo, apart from camping, where you can have your own braai area. There's a spot for parking the car right beside the chalet, and outside each chalet you've also got a table and chairs where you can sit and eat. Now these are not strictly self-catering, you can braai, but there's no kitchen inside. So let's go and have a look inside the bush chalet. So when you come in the front entrance, there is a little seating area with a table, a couple of seats, and a sink with hot and cold water. Not exactly the most impressive pressure in the world, but there is water, and a plug. There's a kettle, some tea and coffee selection, mugs, glasses, and plug points. There's a selection of plug points here, and there's an international plug point as well. There's also a fridge, which has a little freezer compartment in the top. It doesn't come equipped, you just put your own drinks in there. And then, oops, a little storage area. There was something I was going to say about that, but I've forgotten what it is. Anyway, yes, so this is a one-bedroom bush chalet. And they do actually come in a two-bedroom variant. In the two-bedroom, this area is a little larger, and obviously they put 4 mugs and 4 glasses in. So from here, let's start in the bedroom. So you've got your bed. Again, generally all the NWR accommodation is made up with twin beds, single beds, pushed together. So there's not one top, so you are going to have that gap in the middle if you're a couple, or you can actually ask to have them pushed apart and put a table in the middle if you want 2 individuals. You've got your bedside lamps, pillows, linen, nice mattresses. I'll do that one right. It has got, I'm in trouble with the cleaning crew, it has got a cover on it under the sheet. So you've got a cover, a base sheet, and then a sheet to sleep under. There is duvets, which if you're running with the aircon on, because you think, well, you won't need duvets, but if you go to bed with the aircon on, because it has an aircon unit, 2, 3 in the morning, you'll appreciate a duvet. So I tend to go asleep under the sheet with a duvet at the bottom and pull it up when I need it at night. Then there is a cupboard where there is a safe, a pin safe. You set your own pin. Please remember to unlock it when you leave. An extra blanket for the winter time, July and August, and a storage cupboard with a couple of hangers and some shelves if you really want to unpack. So the bathrooms aren't exactly huge, but they're adequate enough. You've got your shower, which is reasonably big. You could squeeze 2 in here if you're friendly, and if you're not friendly, why you put 2 in the shower. And obviously toilet, spare toilet paper, looking nice and clean. That's one thing else, all the accommodation absolutely spotlessly clean. You've got a mirror, a sink, soap, hand cream, insect repellent, body lotion and shampoo, and hot and cold water. My favourite part of the bush chalets is this area out here, where you can set a fire in the evening, put some meat on the braai, and then you can sit here. The waterhole is just over there. The bush chalets are not the closest to the waterhole, but they're the sort of average closest to everything, if that makes sense. So from the waterhole, you've got the waterhole, then you've got the premier chalets, the waterhole chalets, the bush chalets, which we're in now, the rooms, then you've got the swimming pool, restaurant, bar and reception. So the bush chalets are sort of in the middle of the camp. So you're sort of like same distance walk to everywhere, to the waterhole, maybe 3-4 minutes walk, to the restaurant 3-4 minutes walk, and the swimming pool 3-4 minutes walk. So it is nice in the middle of the camp. And you can, unlike some of the accommodation, park your car right outside, and there's generally room for 1 or 2 vehicles or a vehicle with a trailer to park outside. So these are one of the most popular accommodations to stay in Okaukuejo. If you're coming in the high season, you need to book these far in advance. The only thing that books up more than these are the family chalets, which they only have 2, and we'll look at them at another time. So this is the bush chalet at Okaukuejo Resort. Now these are the premier waterhole chalets at Okaukuejo Resort in Etosha, and they're premier because they're in a crescent run here. They're the front line of chalets that look right onto the waterhole, and as you can see at the moment, we have a herd of over 50 elephants in at the waterhole at the moment, and one of them is right close to the fence there. So they're the only double-storey buildings. They sleep 4 with 2 bedrooms. They've got a bedroom downstairs and a bedroom upstairs. The bedroom upstairs has that veranda which looks out over the waterhole. Now, there is only a limited number of these. Not all of them have a clear, unobstructed view of the waterhole because there is some trees growing up here. But from them all, you do overlook the waterhole. So you can actually spend all day here and never leave your chalet balcony and watch the animals coming and going. But even though I don't want to tear you away from the elephants and wildebeest that are all pouring into the waterhole, let's go and have a look inside. Okay, so when you come in the front entrance, all the entrances face the waterhole. You come into this sort of a huge area downstairs where you've got a sofa, a table and chairs. The downstairs bedroom is through there. We'll have a look at that in a second. Tea and coffee station, let's show you inside here. You've got your kettle, a cafetiere, glasses and wine glasses for 4, mugs for 4, tea, coffee and sugar, all packets, all instant. And your mugs. Inside here, there's an empty cupboard. And inside here is your fridge with a freezer compartment. It's empty, but working nicely. So that's the downstairs. Now let's go and have a look at the downstairs bedroom before we go upstairs. And this is the downstairs bedroom. It has its own aircon unit. You've obviously got your mosquito net. Duvets, obviously linen, and everything is provided, and towels and pillows. In the cupboard, you have a safe, hangers, real hangers, and obviously shelf space and extra blankets should you need them in addition to a duvet. Also out here, if I can work out how to break out here, there is a exercise area. Actually, I'm not sure what you do with this area. There's no reason to come out here. There's no outside shower. You can peek through the fence of the waterhole. There's an area outside that you can do what you like with, but personally I would just draw the curtains and ignore it. So here is the bathroom for the ensuite. So, not exactly huge, but it's big enough. There is a decent sized shower with a big rain head on it. And space enough for 2, maybe 3 people if you're very friendly. You've got your sink, shampoo, hot cold water, plug, and a toilet and spare toilet paper, your mirror, and it's very echoey, and of course all your washing lotions that you might need, and insect repellent and shampoo, body lotion. All provided. I better put them back neatly. There we go. So that's the bathroom for the downstairs bedroom. Now let's go and have a look upstairs. And this is the upstairs. So the upstairs is like open plan. We'll start at the back and work our way forward because you've got your big bathroom at the back with a nice big shower. Got a great big rain head. Not going to sprinkle myself with water. There's not really a way around there. Then you've got your sinks with soap, potions, both working nicely, and 1 plug between 2. Bring your own plug. And don't forget toothbrush holder with a smiley face. Okay, twin vanities and mirrors, and around here we've got the toilet. Again, it's all spotlessly clean. I have to admit, I'm very impressed at the cleaning at Okaukuejo. It is very, very good. And of course the main thing is the bedroom. Let's just look at the cupboard. Spare blanket, hangers, and some shelving, and then duvets. And now the main part. You've got your bed. This is a double bed. One of the few places you can get where you're guaranteed to get a double bed, which is really nice. Again, all your linen provided, pillows, towels, it's a decent mattress, it's comfort. All the beds I've had at NWR have actually been very comfortable. And a mosquito net. There is plugs beside the bed as well, and 2 USB points, so you can charge things beside the bed. But of course, the main thing is this veranda here. This is something to witness. So I'm standing on the veranda with my bedroom behind me, and I'm watching over 50 elephants at the waterhole. I can just sit here. If I take things out of my pocket. I can get some drinks from the fridge. There's no room service, so I'd have to get the drinks myself. Jump right away too. Oh, that's much better. Even though it's a cloudy day, still a lot of light bouncing around. That's fantastic. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, obviously we're not going to guarantee you're going to get this many elephants at your waterhole all the time, but generally through the dry season there's elephants and a lot of animals come in and out of this waterhole. And it's just a pleasure to be able to sit here so comfortably. Everything you need is in your chalet behind if you need anything. And watch this. When there's quiet times you can have a nap. The elephant's dusting over there. There's some in the middle of the waterhole. Oh, some impala over there with a springbok. The herd of wildebeest have given up now. They've all gone. There was a congregation of wildebeest waiting and waiting and waiting for these elephants to finish. But they're taking too long, so they've gone wandering off. They're looking for another waterhole somewhere. They'll be happy when they find that. But look how close these elephants are coming to the fence. This is very unusual. They're getting very comfortable, these herds, with people, because they used to keep away from this wall, because there's a wall, then there's a fence, and there's an electric fence, and there's another barrier to stop anything coming into the camp or getting close. But quite a few elephants now have walked as close as they can, and they're reaching up to feed on the stuff that's right by the wall, but they're actually just curious. You can see them looking at the people. It is quite incredible. They're very gentle and mellow. There's no one herd making its way away now, so I think there's just the two big herds left. Yep, there's an elephant there. It's scenting, it's smelling. It's So, elephant and waterhole distractions aside, that was a quick tour of the premier waterhole chalets at Okaukuejo Resort inside Etosha National Park. Parked up and into my chalet. Now this is the area where the waterhole is right in front of us. The back row of chalets are the waterhole chalets. And I've actually got the nice one just here, 23 and 24, do actually have a view right from my seat onto the waterhole, which is lovely. The row of chalets in front of the premier water chalets, double-storey, 4 sleepers. But the waterhole chalets, there's one big chalet and there's a room either side. So if you're 2 couples or a family, you can take one whole chalet. But if you're a couple or just one person, like myself, we've got this one here, and we're on number 24. Let's go in, show you around. Let's get some lights on. And so when you come in, you've got your switches and your aircon. There's a mirror on the wall here, and basically it's a bedroom. Spare duvets, won't be needing them tonight. Luggage rack, half my luggage is already in. Twin beds with bedside lamps, pillows. Quite rough. It's not exactly, well, that's going to dry you, but that's it. Twin pillows, a sheet. Oh yes, and they're the duvets if you need them. Pillows. Actually feel quite nice. Everything's clean as usual, and bedside lights. And out here, if I can find a way through, is a little private area. There's no cushion. I think the cushions are in here. So, the cushions are all up here to put on the seats out here, so you can actually sit out in this area. You put the cushions out in here. It's not exactly private. It's a slatted fence. The car park's there. The waterhole's there. So Not entirely sure why you'd sit out there, especially when you've got those lovely seats at the front where you can see the waterhole. Then you've got this little cupboard. We have got a safe. You set your own 4-pin digit code. It's a decent sized safe. I'll probably get my laptop in there, that's quite good. Wouldn't get my camera in there though. The kettle. Not sure where you'd plug the kettle in. Don't look for a plug socket in there. There's a plug socket beside the bed, but that's the only one I can see, so you'd have to move the kettle out and plug it in there. But then there's a mug, a glass, instant tea and coffee, place for hanging things, hangers, a couple of shelves, and a fridge with a little freezer in it. Comes a little freezer compartment, but otherwise normally comes empty, of course. But, that then just leaves us the bathroom, which must be through here. The bathroom, which is through here. So it's quite small, but it's adequate, very echoey. You've got your sink, mug, luxury soap, and a gold wrapper with a rhino on it, insect repellent, conditioner, soap and moisturizer, and water comes out. I wouldn't call it pressure water. And there's a nice mirror there on hooks for your towels, which is something that most bathrooms miss, is somewhere to put towels. Obviously a toilet with toilet paper and a decent sized shower. There's a little shower head. I'll test it out later and let you know how that is. And there's the bathroom. So that's the Waterhole Chalet. And we'll get to the cost of these later on when I've shown you around some more of the lodge. The biggest thing with these chalets is, you've got this nice seating area outside, it's sharing neighbours, so it'd be nice, is the waterhole that's right there. So from the chalet, it literally is down this path, down there, and I'm at the lit waterhole. And you can see this waterhole day and night. It's lit all night. From this path on this left-hand side, it's quite nice. There's a path through there that comes from the campsite, but it's a solid path, so people are generally quite quiet. And this is the main reason you come to stay at Okaukuejo, is this proximity to this beautiful waterhole that has animals coming in and out of it day and night. And you can go anytime you feel and wander down there. And these waterhole chalets are excellently located. Some of them don't have as clear views, like the one next door to me there has got a chalet right in front of it. But generally you want to be down there, see the animals. And the waterhole does dip down a little bit with a wall around it on 3 sides. We'll show you some more of that later. We'll show you what it looks like at night as well with the animals coming in. But that's what you come for. So from here, it's actually really nice. It's a very short walk from here to the waterhole to enjoy all those animals. Other things that we're going to look at, we're obviously going to, I forgot to book my meal this evening. When I was at reception, I meant to book a table for my dinner, because you book a table, so I'll have a wander there and book that, so I get my supper, because you've got a restaurant, there's 2 swimming pools, there's the viewing tower, there's a shop, obviously the reception area. What else is there? There's a souvenir shop and a food shop, supply shop, shall we say. Fairly basic, but there's bits and pieces in it. But that's what we'll look around. We'll look around that tomorrow. This evening we'll try the food out, see what it's like. In terms of staying here, there is a lot of types of accommodations. There's something that sort of suits anybody. But if you don't book early enough for the high season, which really runs from May until early November, you have to take what you can get. It does book up if you don't book in advance. So there is camping. The campsite's behind there. We'll have a look at that in the morning. It's getting quite late in the day now, so I'm going to book my dinner, and then I'm going to sit at the waterhole for sunset. Welcome to the camping site at Okaukuejo. Now, this is one of the busiest campsites inside Etosha. I've actually managed to call this campsite because they're full tonight, and it's November, it's low season, and it is full. So the campsites particularly are probably more important to book in advance than the rooms, even in the low season, so bear that in mind. But each campsite at Okaukuejo has got a plug point, there's a light, a tap, a table, and a braai area. And there's communal ablutions dotted around. I will try and get us into the ablutions, but it is so busy tonight that I can't find an empty one with nobody in at the moment. As you see, the campsites are quite spacious. They're marked out. There is availability to park 1 or 2 cars, or a big car, or a car with a trailer in here. However, you are limited to only 8 people per campsite. So if you're 10 people, you have to have 2 campsites. Then you can decide who sleeps on which campsite. But it's quite a sprawling campsite. To give you a rough idea, the main entrance is over there, and then you drive around the camp and you come into the campsite here. If when you're facing the campsite, this way as you enter, if you go to the left-hand camp on the left-hand side, towards the fence, you'll be in one of the quietest areas and you'll be closest to the restaurant. If you come in and you go on the back right-hand side, that's actually the best area for animals, but it's the furthest from everything. It's tucked right up in the corner. I actually do like camping all the way up there. It's quite far away from the ablution blocks, and from the restaurant and the bar, but it's not too far from the waterhole. The waterhole is over that way from the front of the campsite, because it's quite a big spacey campsite. It's only about 4 or 5 minute walk to the waterhole. But if you're camped right by the fence, the far side, it's a 7 to 10 minute walk to get all the way from there to the waterhole, but it's much quieter. The campsites along the front of the campsite, these ones here, and you can see there, and these ones along here, are generally the bigger ones where the groups camp. So they can get quite noisy at night. They go to the waterhole, they come back, they cook their dinner here, they chat, they sit around the fire, so there's all a little bit more noise going on, whereas the ones further back tend to be isolated from that noise. So personally, I like, and we'll go and have a look, see if we can find a free one, like camping further to the back, even though it means walking further to everything. But if you do want to be closer, try and pick a middle site or the top left-hand corner as you're facing the campsite, to not be too far away from anything, but not in too busy an area. And welcome to Okaukuejo campsite. Now these are the rooms at Okaukuejo Resort inside Etosha. Now the rooms equipped inside are the same, but there's 2 sizes of rooms. There's the A rooms, which are a bit bigger, and the B rooms, which are a bit smaller. We're going to look at both. First of all, we're going to start with this one, which is 49, which is one of the bigger rooms. All of them have access to this area out here where there's, is the right key? Oh yeah, where you've got a little sitting area outside. You cannot park your car right beside your room because they're in blocks. So there's a parking area at the bottom there, so be aware that you might need to carry your bags a little bit to get to the rooms. But let's have a look inside one of the rooms. This is an A room, 49. Let's have a look. There we go. Put all the lights. There we go. So when you come in the chalet, in the rooms, you've got your bathroom right at the entrance. Again, they're quite compact, I think is the estate agent word for them. You've got your sink with all your soap and shampoo, body lotion. A bit better water pressure around here. A toilet and quite a decent shower. Get a couple of people in here and dance around. And, there's also a cupboard. Oh, sorry. Got your safe and a place to hang clothes. Let me move you a bit closer so you can see. A safe, place to hang clothes, spare blankets, and put your bags inside there. And then you're into the main room, where of course you've got the bed. Again, twin beds pushed together or separated apart as you need. Again, good comfy mattresses, everything is clean, double pillows, mosquito net. Interestingly, there's no bedside cabinets in here, bedside lights in here. Duvets for when it gets cold in the aircon, tea and coffee station, fridge, again same fridge with a little freezer compartment in the top there, couple of glasses, couple of cups, mirror, and the larger ones have this seating area at the back. So the large rooms, the A rooms, are a little bit bigger. And you've got this nice where you can sit down, and there's plenty of storage for bags. There's a couple of plug sockets dotted around. There's a couple on the wall down there, a couple by the tea and coffee station, if you can see through the mosquito net. But there's a couple here in addition to the one for the kettle, and there's one international plug socket. So and also towels are provided as well. So this is a room A, and these are very nice. They're exceptional value, these ones, I think, because you do have that little bit of extra room. to spread out a little bit. They're very comfy. In terms of location-wise, they are closer to the restaurant and bar than most of the accommodation, but further from the waterhole. So you've got a little bit further to walk to the waterhole, which is a pain in the neck if you forget your camera batteries or something. When you get to the waterhole, suddenly you need something else. The other thing to bear in mind with the rooms is you cannot park beside the room. There is a parking area at the end of the blocks where you park, and then you have to bring your bags up and down to the room. So just bear that in mind. Otherwise, these are nice rooms. Air conditioned, they stay cool, and they warm up nicely in the summer, and they warm up nicely in the winter. So they cool nicely in the summer, and they actually are in general cool rooms. All the rooms in Okaukuejo are made of stone, which does tend to keep them nice and cool in the summer. And of course the aircon just tops it off for you. In the winter, you cannot use the aircon as a heater, and there is duvets and blankets should you need them for the night time. It's still, during the daytime, it's still hot in Etosha, even in the winter. Nighttime in the winter is when it can drop to 16, 15 is average winter temperatures. There has been years when it has gone cooler than that, it's like 8 degrees, but that's unusual. So I'd bank on nighttime temperatures in Etosha, 15 to 16 in July, August, early September. The rest of the year, nighttime temperatures are still going to be 20 degrees. But, like I think I've mentioned before, the duvets are quite handy, because if you go to sleep with the aircon on because it's so hot, 2, 3 in the morning, it can get quite chilly. It's nice to have that duvet to pull up. So that's the room A at Okaukuejo Resort in Etosha. But now let's have a look at a room B at Okaukuejo Resort inside Etosha National Park. Now they're equipped out the same as room A's, they're just slightly smaller. But let's go inside and show you this one here. So this is a room type B at Okaukuejo. Emergency horn. So they are equipped exactly the same as the room type A. They are just that little bit smaller. They lack basically that extra space on the end where the sofa and chair is. But otherwise they are equipped out the same. When you first come in, you've got your bathroom. Actually, this bathroom might be a bit bigger. You've got your shower unit, sink with all your amenities, and a toilet. The amenities are soap, shampoo, body lotion, insect repellent. Then you have a fridge, which has a small freezer compartment in it, a kettle, tea and coffee station with instant tea and coffee, and a couple of plug sockets here. Then obviously you've got your bed, twin singles pushed together or can be separated apart if you want to have 2 individual beds, linen provided, pillows, mosquito net, towels, air conditioned, very important, duvets when it gets cold during the night, and a cupboard inside with a safe and hangers and shelves. So they are very nice compact rooms. They are quite small, so if you for some reason intend to be spending a lot of time in your room, be prepared for that. And also if you've got lots of bags, there isn't a huge amount of storage space. You can obviously, there's actually quite a lot of space inside the cupboard, and put them in. You can put them on here as well. And that is a room type B at Okaukuejo Resort in Etosha.